Hello and welcome to another exciting Blender tutorial. This is a continuation of our series. We're making this chase sequence. Now, the second thing that happens after we create this sort of style frame, which we did in the first video, is we're going to take a look at the boards. I'm going to do a detailed storyboard, but what I'm going to do in this video is just show you how I approach storyboards in Blender, how I set things up, what my workflow is. Thanks to everyone who supports this channel already over on Patreon and here on YouTube. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be able to be doing these videos without your help. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create another camera. So I'm going to go Shift A and we're going to create a camera. Now with this camera, I'm going to pop over here into my 3D view. And I just want to put this camera somewhere that's away from where all the action of my scene is going to happen. So I'm going to sort of grab and move it back here somewhere. I might even point it up at the sky. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit, let's see, first I'll click on, I've got two cameras in my scene, so I need to specify which one I want to look through. So I'm going to click on this green, the green camera is what switches cameras basically. So we're going to go camera 01. We're going to call this our boards cam. And then what we're going to do is jump into the camera here by hitting 0 on the number keypad. In this view, off to the side, right over here, if you hit N to bring up the side menu and go down to View, the View tab, under View, you can see here you've got this local camera and we've got boards cam listed, but it's grayed out. If I turn that on, now this view is going to be locked to this camera. And I can switch to my main camera and it's not going to switch over here. This way we can work in the storyboard area off somewhere in our scene without affecting everything else. We can keep it in the same scene, which is really useful. We could just make this full screen. So I'm going to come down here and I'll click and drag over. What I want to do is go Shift A and we're going to create a grease pencil blank. This creates a blank grease pencil. Got a few collections here. Now I've just organized some collections. You can create collections by clicking up here. So I might just do that here, create a new one for our cameras. So just click plus here to create a new collection. I'll call this cameras. And then I can drag in whatever cameras I have into here. Likewise, I can, organize other stuff here. I might do another one for boards. Collections are basically just folders, right? Folders to organize your scene. They have no 3D representation in your environment. So if you're used to something like Maya, we might have groups and stuff. Groups have a 3D representation in the scene. Collections don't. Collections are purely organization based. So let's get going. I'm going to click on my storyboards here, and I'm going to switch over from object mode. We're going to go to draw mode. And now we're in grease pencil mode. Now there's a couple of different settings here. We've got the actual green data tab with layers, right? We can create different layers and stuff. And this is the material tab. Material tab is where we can create our different strokes. So different types of colors and fills and stuff. We're going to go with black and we'll just make it work like this. Okay, cool. All right, so to make the drawing environment a little bit nicer, what I'm going to do is come up here, click this little drop down next to our different render modes. And I'm going to come down here to background and we're going to change it from theme to custom. And then I'm just going to pick white there. And now I've got a custom background color that I can use to draw with. I'm just going to stick with the main layer and I need to make a little bit more room here. And I'm going to change this from the timeline to the dope sheet. And this is where we can manage all of our different layers and stuff in story pencil or in grease pencil. So if I open up here, we've got storyboards, grease pencil layers. You can see all the layers are listed and we've got a keyframe. I'm just going to come up a little bit further and grab a timeline. I will keep a timeline here just so I've got the playback controls. Actually, I like my timeline underneath. So again, I'm going to go to the little plus, click and drag up, switch this to timeline, bring it down, and I'm going to turn auto keying on. And now with auto keying on, if I come over here onto a frame and draw something, I'm going to get a key. I'm drawing right now set to the view. That's the drawing plane. So that means whatever angle your view is, that's where you're going to be drawing. And let's see, anything else? We are drawing kind of arbitrarily. Well, it's wherever the position of the storyboards thing is. So if I come over here, it's positioned somewhere. Probably want to put it close to my camera just so that I don't get any weird artifacts. You can get some strange results. So if I make sure I'm not locked to my view and I zoom out, my camera's here and storyboards are, where are you? Let's go to object mode and I'll grab the move. Yeah, so we're way over here with those guys. So what I think I'll do is I'll bring it over here to my camera. So I'm going to select my camera, Shift S, cursor to selected, grab my grease pencil, Shift S, selection to cursor, and then grab Z. And that origin is what matters. That's the important part for where, it's basically like where my drawing page is, right, in relation to this camera. I also might shift click and then Control P to parent. And that way my storyboards stay parented to my boards cam. They always kind of stick together. So if we ever have to move it, we can just keep them together. But I do want a keyframe on that. So I'm going to select all and X to delete out of the dope sheet to get rid of any keyframes there. And I'll just leave it as is. So now I'm going to jump back into my view. And with the storyboards selected, let's go back to draw mode, make sure we've got things set up right. And I should be able to draw now. Now my pin size might feel different. So yeah, it's much bigger. So we're so close to the camera. I could adjust that, right? So I could take the storyboards out instead of, 46, I could go out further, but it's probably easier just to find a size that actually works relative to my camera. I'm gonna set my strength to 1, and I've got my main black color here. If I ever want to change colors, we can do that. That's pretty much it. Okay, so now what I do is I start drawing. So, we have our introductory scene, which is going to be this landscape, and we'll have the thing kind of zoom by, right? So we'll have this like landscape kind of shot, and just fill that in. Rocks in the distance, some like low clouds. So we'll have this, right? Opening shot, right? We just see the landscape. And then we're going to go forward a little bit, say like 35 frames, for example. And I'm going to keep this shot with auto key turned on. If I start drawing here, everything's going to disappear, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to keep it all. So I can click this summary keyframe and hit Shift-D to duplicate that key, and I can bring it right to here. Now, if I draw, it's not going to get rid of it because it's already got this as a key. So it's just kind of adding to this, the key for this frame. So now let's have this speeder bike thing. It's going to like zoom in. We're going to have the fin, right? And I think what I'll need to do is erase a little bit. So let's go for one of these erasers. Take the size of the eraser down. I'll erase a chunk of stuff here. Something like this, right? And then let's have one more. Let's go to 60. Take this frame. Actually, instead of this frame, I'm going to grab the first one, Shift-D, bring it forward. So now it's clean again, right? And now I can draw what the next thing is. So let's say we come down to here, right? So I'm going to give myself a bit of erasure. Okay. Something like this, right? We want it to go past camera. Let's see. Do we want this the screen direction? I'm thinking in like he's traveling right to left. So to flip this, what you do is you just pick a keyframe, tab to go into edit mode, A to select all. You can see they're basically just like splines, right? It goes scale, X -1. So we've got, we set to individual layers. Let's go up to median point. I'm going to do the median point of everything that's selected. Scale X -1. Boosh. There it is. Go to the other key over here. Select all, S, X -1. That's right, because the median point's technically a little bit different for everything. That's annoying. Anyways, we just grab X, bring it over. I'm just going to grab this frame and just drag it and replace over that one. A little bit of movement still, but that's fine. All right, so he's going to zoom off. So we'll be traveling to the right, which makes more sense. But anyways, that's how you do it. So you just can treat these, each frame is basically like a set of splines that you can go into edit mode for and make adjustments with. And you can like grab individual pieces and stuff. You don't have to like just do that. You can hit L to select linked and like grab a bit. Got proportional editing turned on, but you can grab individual strokes. Like I could grab this cloud, right? And go, you know what? I want to move this thing over here and just grab one of the verts from the other bit. There we go. And you can see you can move stuff around. So it's really, really powerful when you're using it this way. But typically like this is how I do it. So I just back and forth with auto key turned on, which replaces frames, right? So the next shot, let's do one more board here. So we've got zoom, we fly in, and then I want to get in. I can think about the timing. So I can go to this first frame here and press play and think about how fast these frames are going. And it feels a bit slow. So I want this to be faster. So once this thing enters, I think I'm going to move these keys. So I click on the summary level. So that grabs everything below it. All the keys underneath this key are represented by the summary layer. I could do individual ones if I grab these, but I'll grab this and hit G, and that allows me to grab, and now I can move it around on my timeline, and then click to commit. Now you can see it's much faster, but still not quite quick enough. I'll bring these right in. Once I'm happy with that, we can start drawing the next frame. So I might come here to frame 65, and I don't make a new grease pencil or anything. We just keep here. I just get rid of the key, right? And immediately start to start to draw a new frame. So for this frame, I think what I'm going to do is focus on the thing that's hitting the ground, like how that works, that kind of, and then we go up to, let's see, how's that going to work? We'll do something like this, right? Where we show the fin, some kind of fin thing hits the ground, right? Like rocks and debris kind of flying up. Do some action lines. So we see this thing like bumping on the ground. So it zooms off a secondary frame, right, to give a sense of that action. I want this part, right, to be very similar. So I'll go to this key, go into edit mode, and then start selecting selection. Also select, that'll be good. Just going to grab the fin. I can Control C, right? Go to the next key, Control V. Paste it. So that's kind of like sliding back a bit. That vibe. Pretty cool. This should be moving a little bit, right? It's still selected because we're in edit mode still, so I can just move it up a little bit. See how that feels. Yeah, that's cool. I can Shift D, bring this one forward. Shift D, bring this one forward. It's kind of closer together. Grab all these keys, Shift D, bring them out, Shift D, bring them out. Think about how long I want the shot to last. And then I was thinking we'd like go up, right? So right here, what I want to do is take all this, A, right? And then I'm going to grab Y and bring it down. Leave edit mode, go back into the draw mode, bring this thing up, however it's going to work. And you could ease that a little bit, right? Instead of this pop, we could come to like this one. Y a little bit. This one as well. Up, go, something like this. All right, and then up here, we can just have these things going, right? Like speed lines, speed lines heading up. And then we could duplicate this frame forward a little bit and do the same thing where we create different speed lines. Okay, now I want to have some laser blasts come in. And so he's speeding through, right? And then some stuff comes. We need to figure out when that's going to happen. Maybe around here, like 142 or something. So let's switch over to a different color. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create plus to create a new slot here, just like with materials, right? And then I'm going to click new, and then I'll come down here, base color, and I can just pick a base color that I want. So I'm going to go for like a red laser color. And then I want to play with the timing of these lasers separate to the rest of this stuff. So I actually create a new layer to do that. So I'll come here, I'll click plus to create a new layer. And you can see here, I've got layer and layer.001, and 001 has no keyframes at all, except for this one frame. So now I can come in here and draw a couple of lasers. Just line them up with the other drawings. Now this shot here, right, is not very dynamic or profile, right? And I'm thinking about purely about communicating the idea. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is a really good opportunity when we get to actually prevising the shot to come up with something better, more dynamic, that still describes the action. So we might start down like this, but then maybe pivot or something, do a bit more 3/4 when we get up to this point. Because I'd love to combo this with a close-up. But we're going to draw this close-up as a separate shot for now, and then think about that when we actually get to it. All right, so I've fleshed out a bit of these boards. I've worked out a couple of the shots. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go do all this over on Patreon. So if you want to join me, head over there. You can catch the uncut version of this tutorial to go watch me draw all the boards, or you can continue to join here on YouTube as well. That also gives you the option. So I'll be back once I get that done, and we will wrap this up. And here we are with the final boards. We've got the ship that zooms in or profile. We go up to see the guy riding the lasers come in. He turns back. We see the lasers, boom, hit the thing. He dodges. And then we see his pursuer. We zoom in, see some more lasers blast. He dodges, but then the lasers hit the fin. It explodes. The bike slides, hits the ground. He turns the wheel, slides around, and bam, the chaser hits the wing, flips, and explodes. And then we end with a push in on the guy's face as we see the reflection in his helmet. So that is the design. That's the plan. Now I've paced these keys out. I've done a lot of extra work to kind of really get the timing to feel good. But now that we've got this, we can use this to then base our previs on in the next step. So I hope you're excited to continue watching. Again, you can check this out on Patreon or here on YouTube. If you become a full member, you can get access to the full uncut version where I went just with this entire thing, which is about an hour and 45 minutes long. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.